My first review of 2025, and it's on New Year's Day. So starting as I mean to go on straight off to the cinema this afternoon. I was going to say before my beloved Odeon closes, but I probably need to stop wanging on about that, although I'm very sad about it. I'm also not going to talk about production values or the lighting in here. I'm doing my best. But roll on summer when it's still daylight at this time at night. By this time at night, I mean it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. So today's film, to kick off the 2025 film Odyssey, was We Live in Time. This is a drama starring Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield as Almut and Tobias, and they are a couple, and this film is their story. So far, so simple. It's a beautiful film. I'm going to start by saying that. I've seen them both interviewed separately and together talking about this film, and it's clear they are both very proud of it, and now having seen it I completely understand why. It is a beautiful film. It's quite a simple film, although some of its themes and emotions are quite complex. The first thing to mention, and I obviously don't want to spoil anything, but it is not linear in its storytelling. We jump about all over the place and we're never told where we are in time. We are just at different stages of their relationship. So when the film opens, they are together, they live together, and then we jump to before they meet. And the whole film works like that, with us zigzagging backwards and forwards through time. Our only real indicator of the passage of time is often Almut's hair, how it looks when she first meets Tobias, and then through the various stages of their relationship. We don't even really know the time scale of the film. We're never really told. I think we get the impression that they haven't had as long together as they would have liked. I'm not giving anything away because it's all very clear in the trailer, but Almut has ovarian cancer. And we know from quite early on in the film that her time is limited. So it's about, what do you do with the time that's left? How do you make the minutes count? And that's it. It is such a simple film. Boy meets girl, they fall in love, and then their lives go in a direction that neither of them anticipated. And it's kind of hard to say anything else about it. I can tell you how it made me feel, which is emotional and warm and fuzzy and heartbroken. It made me grateful for cinema. God, that sounds naff, doesn't it? But, you know, these little beautiful British slice of life, sort of snapshot of two people type films, it's something we do incredibly well. I think had this been an American film, an American story, it could have been quite overwrought, or it could have been heavier on the emotion. We don't get scenes of Almut in a hospital bed fading away because of the structure of the film. We don't know where we are in terms of how close we are to the end of her life. We're just zigzagging backwards and forwards over, I'd say, roughly a 6 or 7 year time scale. I think that's it. I don't think it's more than that. And it is just about these two people who love each other very much, who meet and build a life together. Like I say, that's it. There's no more to it than that, but there's so much more to it than that. It is funny in places. It has humour. Like I say, it's incredibly warm. It has fantastic performances. Like, I'm sure there have been previous videos where I've waxed lyrical about my love for Florence Pugh, but if I haven't, then I'm more than happy to do it again, because my God, that woman is talented. I first discovered her. Sounds ridiculous. The first film I saw her in is what I mean. The first time I became aware of the absolute force of nature that is Florence Pugh was when I went to see Fighting with My Family, I don't think I'd had my Odeon Limitless very long at that point. I was excited to see it because it was directed by Stephen Merchant, who I have had the pleasure not only of meeting, but of actually spending an evening in his company with a few other people back before kids, when my life was fleetingly cool. So I was excited to see it because he had written and directed it, and it had this really great cast. It had Nick Frost in it, it had Dwayne Johnson in it, who, clang, I've also met. And yeah, it had this young actress called Florence Pugh, and she was just brilliant. And she's just brilliant in everything, whether it's MCU playing Yelena, or it's We Live in Time playing a chef and, you know, a partner, or she's playing the least likable March sister in Greta Gerwig's Little Women and somehow making her likable. Just in everything she's in, she's brilliant. And she's such a chameleon. She'd be so many different things. She's believable as a girl from Norwich who, you know, I was going to say infiltrates, that's the wrong word, who conquers the WWE. And she's equally as believable as a 34-year-old chef living in London with her boyfriend. And then as a Russian genetically modified spy, killer, Black Widow operative type person. She's all of those things, and I believe her as every single one. And I think she will just go from strength to strength to strength. And I am happy to be watching films to live in the time of Florence Pugh. And then you've got Andrew Garfield, who I've obviously been aware of a lot longer. He's older than her. He's had a longer career, and he's played all manner of different roles. I always recommend, when people are looking for TV recommendations, I tell them to go and watch Under the Banner of Heaven on Disney Plus, which is a limited series he did, which he's brilliant in. And then he was in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. He's one of the Spider-Men. You know, he's the Amazing Spider-Man. He's just, again, varied and versatile and interesting. And then, my God, he did Tick, Tick, Boom, where he played Jonathan Larson, the composer who created Rent. And he learned to play the piano, and he sang, and he's amazing, and I love him. And I'm conscious that this is just me gushing over how amazing both leads are, but they're both really good, and they are the heart and soul of the film. The supporting cast are also brilliant. You know, it's very British. I love that it is a romantic story, but it's not twee or cutesy. They actually meet because she knocks him over. So, you know, even that is, I suppose, a little bit contrived, but that just happens to be the way they meet. And then their lives go from there. There is an absolutely magnificent scene, and I won't spoil what's going on, but there's a wonderful cameo from the British comedian and actress Kerry Godliman, who I love. It is just a beautiful, quite simple little film that will take you on a journey, make you fall in love with these characters, will punch you in the feels, but yeah, there's so much to love about it. There's so much warmth in this film. It's not just young woman has cancer, boo-hoo, sad. I mean, it is very sad in places, but that it's not a weepy film. I wouldn't categorize it in that category of, you know, one of those films that you're always going to watch and sob your heart out. It's just beautiful. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I think everybody should see it. And take tissues. I forgot. So I've got a bit of a soggy sleeve vibe going on. But yeah, great way to start the year. I hope they are nominated for this film. I hope they win awards. I hope lots of people watch it. And yeah, I hope they get lots of feedback from audience members just saying, we love this film, because like I said in interviews, they're clearly incredibly proud of it, and rightly so. It is a cracking bit of cinema and a great way to start the year. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoy, I mean, who wouldn't enjoy a woman middle-aged sitting in a Vauxhall Corsa on a drive? But if you enjoyed this, then share the channel, subscribe to the channel, help other people to get their films reviewed this way. Who wants professional film critics when you could have a woman in a car on a drive? Okay, Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for watching. Katie out.